do. All right. Dry boogies. Keep it sleeping. All right, all right, all right. Get this notification out there. Let everyone know that I'm live. And we're gonna be talking about comics and stuff. Yeah. So we got the 5-minute preview. We got the 5-minute preview for Superman, which I thought they were gonna keep Minecraft, but they didn't. How's it going, everyone? What's up, Danny? Obeyed, Logan, Soundwave. How's it going? So this, oh, watch out, Jimmy. The 5-minute preview came out, which was supposed to just be playing before Minecraft, but then it got leaked. Surprise, surprise. And then I guess James Gunn's like, screw it. Why keep it hidden? It doesn't really make sense to keep it hidden unless you're trying to boost Minecraft numbers. You want to get people excited for Superman. So they released it. What's up, D-Claw? How's it going, Zachary? Yeah, it got leaked, and I don't know. Like, obviously they knew it was going to get leaked, so this is just what happens every time. There's never been one of these previews that stays private. If it's playing before every movie, like if it was just at CinemaCon, then they could have kept it private. But it playing at everything, then yeah, easy. So they released it. It was, I'm not going to show it on stream because I'd probably get hit with a copy strike, and I don't want that to happen. So it has that James Gunn humor, which we expected. But I liked it. I thought it was good for the most part. The more I see the Superman suit, the more I don't like it, though. I hate how over-designed it is. Oh my goodness, does that annoy me? How over-designed that suit is. Just all the random lines and stuff on it. Like, we don't... Why'd they have to do it? Why'd they have to MCU-ify his suit? I've never been the biggest fan of the Kingdom Come S either, but MCU-ifying the suit with all the lines annoys me. But I did like the Fortress of Solitude. I liked the robots. They're all voiced by James Gunn's friends. You can hear Rooker voicing one of them. You hear Alan Tudyk voicing the main one. He's got a great voice for it though. But I like the Fortress. The Fortress look good. Strings though. I guess it's supposed to be a teaser for the full trailer. Yeah. And then they just played the trailer afterwards. I do wish we would have gotten some type of preview with a little bit of action in it. That would have been cool. Because this is just completely out of context, and it's like, I don't know why this is what they showed. Unless maybe to show that the tone's different. Maybe that's what it was. For people that might be, like, scarred from the DCEU to show things. But I do like how, Crypto is characterized, though, as, like, a legit dog. Because, like, he has no clue that Superman's hurt. He's just pouncing all over him, like, come on, let's go play. That was great. I like that. And he has to be like, come on, Crypto, this is not the time for this. But I thought it was good, but it wasn't exactly like the hype, like, preview. You think they would have maybe released something else that they really wanted to get people hyped. So he's making the real second trailer now. I'm excited. I think the first trailer is great. I really like the first trailer. And this preview was good, but you think if they were going to make something, what's up, Brady? If they're going to make something to really, really excite people, they would do something a little different. But yeah, there's not much to say about the preview. It looked good. I just, man, the more I see that suit, the more I'm just like, really? Why'd we do that? Like, less is more sometimes. You don't gotta like over design everything. Also, something that well, obviously there's gonna be humor. It's James Gunn. That's what he does. But reportedly he had said, I believe he himself said that he toned down the humor for this, compared to like Guardians and Suicide Squad, because it doesn't always match what Superman doesn't match his like humor stuff. So yeah, on Superman Day 100, then the marketing campaign starts. That would make sense. All right, so something that I was reading some of the back issues I got from Emerald City Comic Con, and one of them is this issue of Captain America. This is when Captain America's first time fighting Crossbones. But the great part about this that I didn't know is there's a backup story for Vagabond that has a panel that's straight from, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the meme like floating around, but I'm like, oh my goodness, it's from this comic. I have the comic now. The jacked guy in bed. I have that comic now. I didn't even know that was this issue, but I was reading and I was like, oh my god, there it is. Freaking yeah. So it turns out that's in the back of Captain America 363. I didn't know that, but I'd seen that meme before, and when I freaking saw that in this issue, I was like, holy crap, I have that issue now. That's not why I bought it though. I just bought it because I was looking for some Captain America back issues when I was at Emerald City Comic Con. I was like, oh, check these out. Mark Gruenwald Cap is he's probably my second favorite to Ed Brubaker. Gruenwald did a lot of great stuff with Cap, and so I picked up some Gruenwald back issues, and I was just reading them. I was like, oh my goodness, there it is. There it is. All right. So this week was kind of a weaker week for comics. Not a whole lot of great stuff. The first thing I want to talk about is Daredevil Cold Day in Hell. It was really good. That was by far my favorite comic of the week. I don't know if you guys read it. It's from Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. It's really good. As well as so interesting in the back, they talked about how the process for this and how they've been working on this for like 6 years, but then the pandemic happened and that kind of like slowed things down. Things got weird and they worked on other stuff. And then they came back to this. Thoughts on Superman getting tortured while getting sunlight? He wasn't getting tortured. It was just pain because it's like, you know, broken bones moving and then healing is what it was. He wasn't getting tortured. It was just, you know, him like that rapid healing happening from his bones facing one way and then facing another, you know, and like healing and all that. So that's what that was. I was fine with that. But it was cool seeing the sunlight heal him. I like that. Reading some John Byrne Superman I haven't read. Nice. John Byrne Superman's solid. But yeah, it wasn't a great week for comics. The only there were some good comics. All right, so I'll tell you guys what I read. I read JSA number 6, Daredevil Cold Day in Hell number 1, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe One Last Time number 1, Hyde Street number 5, G.I. Joe Real American Hero, the Beachhead one shot, and that was it. That was all I read this week because there wasn't a whole lot that really interested me. But Daredevil Cold Day in Hell was really good. I didn't know what to expect because we talked about last week that Charles Soule is kind of hit or miss. I'm not always the biggest fan of Charles Soule. Some of his stuff's good, some of his not very good. And his Daredevil I have read the first 2 volumes of, and that's all I've read. I haven't read much else. I haven't read like anything else from his Daredevil other than the first 2 trades. And I liked it. I liked the first 2 trades, but also I don't know how much of that was just I love Ron Garney's art, so it might have been carrying the writing a little bit. But I did enjoy those first 2 trades, so I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. But Cold Day in Hell is really good. It's set in the future. It's like a post-apocalyptic future where a bunch of heroes are gone. We don't really know. Well, not completely post-apocalyptic. Like the world's still kind of going on, but a lot of things have happened. We don't really know exactly what's happened. But Matt has lost his radar sense. He's just truly a blind man. And in the beginning, he's visiting Wilson Fisk's grave. They do a whole intro where you don't know what grave he's visiting because he's blind, so he can't see, and they blind the reader also. But you see that like a lot of stuff has happened, like the Brooklyn Bridge has been taken out. A lot of things are like polluted. It's not looking so hot in the future. Also, something that I thought was fairly brave of this comic is we get a realistic depiction of a homeless person in this issue, which I don't know if you've been reading comics, but every time there's someone homeless, they're never like a crazy crackhead drug addict like most in real life. They're the most unfortunate, greatest, hardest working person you've ever seen, and they just have come up on hard times, and that's why they're homeless. That's like every person in comics, like in Tom Taylor's Nightwing, where it's like, oh, look at all these poor homeless people that blah blah, you know, and then you go out into Seattle, and it's like, oh, that person's not like a Tom Taylor homeless person at all. Well, in this, you actually get a more realistic portrayal of a homeless person. They ask Matt for money for food, and Matt like hands him a roll of money, and he's like, just take what you need and leave what you can for me, because, you know, I need to eat too. And the guy's just like, screw you, and pushes Matt, who's again is blind, straight down like some stairs, and it's like, screw you, man, thanks for the money. And they also almost take his cane too, but it was that interaction was pretty funny. And we see that Matt is still just like, he's completely blind. No radar sense. He's struggling. I picked up Steve McNiven on a book again. Well, yeah. It's nice to see him on this. I will say, I something that I am happy about is that Steve McNiven is not going to be doing the coloring going forward. He did the colors for this first issue, and he won't be doing it going forward, because I think Steve McNiven's good on pencils, but I'm not the biggest fan when he colors his own work. I just don't think it looks very good. Like, he colored this book, and I feel like the colors they're not like terrible, but I don't think it's that great looking. I don't think his colors are that great, but there's going to be someone else coloring the rest of the issue, so I'm happy about that. But also, they talked about how they wrote this in essentially Charles Soule and him like collaborate on the plot, and then Soule will do a general outline for each page, and then he'll just be like, all right, Steve, you figure out how the panels go and everything. So that was pretty cool hearing about that, because in the back they talked about how they wrote this differently than they've done anything else. But anyways, we see that Matt is running a soup kitchen. And while he's taking the trash out from his soup kitchen, a giant explosion happens with some chemicals, and it gives him his radar sense back. His radar sense is back, and he's like, oh, snap. And he's getting, it's really well done. It's really cool. I'll try to bring up a page, because he gets flashbacks of Stick and all these other things, and it's really cool. I liked it a lot, the scene where he gets it. And then he immediately saves some people. He's back into hero mode, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. Like, what causes this explosion, and he goes underground where the explosion happens, and we see Captain America, Old Man Cap, is just like holding up this entire, like, everything from collapsing, and he's also just been stuck with a rebar. But let me show you on these pages. Jimmy also wants to. So this is when, like, right as the explosion happens and he gets his radar sense back. It's so cool. I love the way this is done. I love this layout. This is sick. McNiven killed it here. And you got friggin' Stick. Get it together, Matthew. I love that part. That part was great. But anyways, he goes and he tries to chase down the people that did this to Cap. He saves some people, and Cap's just like telling him about what's going on and these dudes. And then everything collapses on Cap, and Cap gets crushed. But Daredevil goes and he chases well, first he tries to go back for Cap. He hears his heartbeat and he's like, I can save him, and then he doesn't save him, which I didn't expect him to. I'm like, Cap's definitely gonna die. And so then he tries to go after the guys that caused the explosion that killed Cap. And there's a moment where when he's on the roof and he's chasing them, he's like, all right. And he gets Phantom Billy Club. He reaches for his Billy Club to do his grapple. And he's like, oh, wait, I don't have that. And so the dudes get away. And then that's basically where the issue ends. I won't spoil the villain in the end if you haven't read it, or who's there at the very end, because there's a reveal about someone at the end, and it's interesting. But we see him put his suit on. It looks really cool. And yeah, I really enjoyed Cold Day in Hell #1. I had no idea what to think about this, or how it was gonna, like, what I thought was gonna happen. Like, I was just excited to see Steve McNiven on a Daredevil book, and I was optimistic, and it was my favorite comic of this week. It was really good. I liked it a lot. It was one of the best Marvel comics I've read in a fat minute. Do you think Crypto hurting Superman was funny or cringe? I thought it was funny. I thought that whole little bit was pretty funny, because, you know, that's exactly how a dog would act, not really knowing what's going on, just being like, hey, let's play. I liked it. This is Paul show up. True. Paul's the one behind all of it. Yeah, so let's see, what else do we got? Because Daredevil, so that's my recommendation of the week, is Daredevil Cold Day in Hell. It's really good. Then we got, and it's going to be a 3-parter, I believe. It's a 3-parter, so we'll see where it goes from here. First issue is really strong. Hopefully they can keep it up. And then the only DC book I read this week was JSA #6, which I enjoyed. A lot of stuff happens in here. someone dies, which I won't spoil who, but the person that does die, they get their moment in this book, but I wish it would have been a little more. Like they do some stuff before they go out, but I wish it would have been a little more. Like let them be a bit more badass before they go out. But it wasn't handled bad or anything. It's just but things are falling apart for the JSA. Oh my goodness, a lot of crazy things happen to the JSA in this. The JSA are just falling apart. Lemire's crafting an interesting story with the JSA. Yeah, Lemire's been doing good with JSA. I've been enjoying it. The only issue I didn't really care for was the one with the fill-in artist, because Diego's really good. His last name's like Olartigi. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Diego's really good. But we had a fill-in artist for like issue 4, and I did not care for that. Have you read Absolute Green Lantern? Kind of disappointing. No, dude, the art's so bad on that. I didn't want to read. Also, I don't like. I don't care for Al Ewing either, so I just skipped that. Man, it looks so bad. That was one of the ugliest books I've seen in a while. Like it looks. I've said it for a while now. Ever since they released the preview, it looks like a fan-made webcomic. That's what it looks like. It looks bad. What's your take on MJ being Venom? It's hilarious. That's just more of Venom, Marvel being completely out of ideas and having no idea what to do, and being like, we can't have Peter and MJ be together, but we got to keep MJ around because she's a classic Spider-Man character. So let's have her be Venom. That makes sense, right? It's just Marvel editorial being so stupid. It's very funny though. But yeah, JSA's been pretty good. I've been enjoying it. The art's fantastic. And it'll be interesting to see how the JSA gets out of this one, because they are just getting dismantled at every turn. It feels almost kind of like JSA Nightfall, like with how they're just getting absolutely dismantled right now. But yeah, I would recommend it. It's good. Deadpool. Now let's move on. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe one last time. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe was really good. I like it a lot. I read like the first issue or 2 of the sequel and then dropped off. So I don't know how the sequel ended, because I think it was called Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe Again. That came out like, I don't know, 2018, 2019, something like that. It came out a while ago. I think like 2018. I didn't finish it, so I have no idea if that was any good, because I didn't really care for the first like couple issues, so I stopped. This one opens up with a character approaching Deadpool and being like, "Hey, I've got something for you. Why don't you do that? Well, why don't you do this for me?" And Deadpool's like, "Okay, I'll do it." So his goal is to go kill other people. And we see that he's going through through the Marvel Universe, and he's killing versions of characters that we've seen before, but instead of, the 616 where they then change back to like their normal version, it's like as if they kept going. So he fights Superior Spider-Man, for instance. It's kind of underwhelming, because he's like, they have a little bit of a fight, and then he just sticks an explosive on him, and Superior Spider-Man just explodes and dies. So could have been cooler. How would you save Daredevil Born Again? Well, talking about where we're at currently, I would bring Bullseye back. I would have him kill Cherry and Vanessa instantly. Both of them, get them out of there. Screw it, I'd have him kill the lawyer lady too, even though I don't really have anything particular against her. Just kill her, kill his whole firm. Get freaking Matt out of there. Yeah, I'd have Bullseye come back and kill Cherry, the lawyer lady, and Vanessa. Kill all of them. Just get out of the way, because that's the nice thing about having Bullseye. You can just have him show up and kill whoever you want whenever you want and get rid of him. But beyond that, oh yeah, and then I'd also have him kill the therapist lady. She can die. Get rid of her. Get her out of there. I'd have Bullseye kill her. And yeah, and then Matt has a cool fight with him, ends up beating him, and then I don't know, but I just want a lot of people to die, because I really don't care about much in this show. And they've ruined Vanessa, who I used to like. I really hated Vanessa. Now, I hate her. Vanessa sucks. I used to really like Vanessa, and now it sucks. Is Superman or Clark Kent the real person? They're both the real person. That's the beautiful part of Superman. They're both the real person. Can you ban my main? I was spamming like 3 years ago. Yeah, I can unban it. I'll unban it after the stream. Thoughts on Justice League Unlimited? I have not been reading it because I think it's stupid that just every single person in the DC universe is a part of the Justice League. In the last issue of Superman, we saw that the Creeper is part of the Justice League. Why the hell is Creeper part of the Justice League? What are we doing? I think it's so stupid to just be like, hey, we need a bigger Justice League. We need every hero to be a part of the Justice League. Why? We don't need every hero to be a part of the Justice League. That's stupid. Yeah, I decided I should probably start doing some shorts. I've done like 2 shorts prior. So try to make shorts a regular thing now. Love everything I'm seeing with Superman movie. Yeah, looks good so far. Have you read the recent Absolute Superman? No, I dropped off after Absolute Superman after the 2nd issue. I'll probably read the rest just to do a video on it, but I didn't care for it. I wish anyone would have been the villain instead of Kingpin, because I like Kingpin, but Kingpin has been used a lot, and then they also kind of ruined him when they introduced him into the MCU by having him get beat up instantly and shot in the face. Justice League Unlimited sucks right now. Well, glad I'm not spending any money on it. But yeah, Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe one last time. We see him, he fights Superior Spider-Man, he fights Frankencastle, which if you remember, that was during Rick Remender's run on Punisher. He became Frankenstein because he got killed by Daken. He fights a bunch of different versions of Marvel characters. He even fights Worldbreaker Hulk at the end. But that's where like a mystery comes in, because he's fighting Worldbreaker Hulk, and surprise, surprise, he's not doing so well against Worldbreaker Hulk. And then Worldbreaker Hulk just like kind of disappears. It's like, what's going on? Like a big flash happens, and Worldbreaker Hulk is gone. It's like, whoa, what's going on? And it's like thinking maybe either Worldbreaker Hulk just got teleported away because the device he's using is broken, because we find out it is broken, or Worldbreaker Hulk got taken by the lady that hired Deadpool. Maybe she's trying to do something. But then in the end, Deadpool gets taken to the 616 universe, and main continuity Marvel, and he said that he's there to save it, is what he's told by the lady that hired him, because he's supposed to kill everyone. It's like, oh, so who's he supposed to kill in this universe to help save it? So that's what he's hired for. It was an okay first issue. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything great either. I like seeing him fight different versions of characters we've known before, though, like characters that we've seen, like Frankencastle and like Superior Spider-Man. I think that's cool. And next week he's gonna be fighting Capwolf, when the werewolf Captain America. So that could be fun. And then we got what else we got? Yeah, it's like the recruitment scenes in the start of Justice League runs, and Brad Meltzer. It sucks to lose that much. Yeah, everyone just gets recruited. Yeah, I just read the latest issue of Hyde Street. I definitely missed Ivan Race. Just having a fill-in artist is unfortunate. It really the fill-in artist isn't terrible or anything. It's just like Ivan Race elevates the book so much. Also, I felt like this lady wasn't as interesting as prior characters. I thought the Frankenstein actor guy was the best one we've gotten yet. That was my favorite issue of Hyde Street. But this issue wasn't bad. It's just without Ivan Race, it's just not as good. Not as good. Also, they did a one-shot with this lady before, but I didn't read it because it was a different writer and different artist, so I didn't read it. But I know this lady had her own one-shot before. I did like the ending with Pranky. I love Pranky. If you're not reading Hyde Street, you should be. It's good. But Hyde Street is a place where like bad people go, and then when they get stuck there, they have to like convert a certain number of souls to Hyde Street in order to be able to get out. And everyone's trying to get out except for Pranky, who's this former Boy Scout that is he's now like super old, but he's still like eternally like 11, and he loves doing this. He loves tormenting people and like getting souls to Hyde Street, and he has way more than enough to leave Hyde Street, but he hasn't cashed them in to leave. He just keeps collecting souls, and everyone else is pissed because he's claiming them before anyone else can get them to leave. So I love that with Pranky. But also I'll say, oh my goodness, the final page of this with Pranky, that version of Pranky looks so weird compared to seeing Ivan Race's Pranky. Let me see if I can, I'll pull up a page to show you guys the comparison where it's like, oh my goodness. But yeah, I like that ending. I like that ending where Pranky just shows up. It's like, get the hell out of here. Don't take it. No. Let me see if I can find a page of Pranky. Come on, come on, come on. From Ivan Race. Because that final page, it's like, whoa, that does not. But Hyde Street's good. I like Hyde Street. Highly recommend. It's way different than like any other comic I'm reading. There's a good page of freaking Pranky. Trying to find a good page. Also, I saw like a bookstore the other day, and I saw the like deluxe edition of Junkyard Joe, and I was so tempted to get it because it's like the absolute editions for DC. It's like a giant edition. It looks sick. I was like, oh my goodness, that looks awesome. I was tempted to get that. I was like, have they done that for any of the other Ghost Machine books yet? Or was that the only one that got that treatment? I don't know, because I haven't looked. But it was sick. All I'm finding is like freaking Pranky when he's all... when he like morphs. I'm trying to find actual stock Pranky. Come on, Pranky. Let's... whatever. That's... let's see. Come on. Alright, there's a not colored... there we go. Alright, now I found a good one. From Ivan Race's Instagram. Can Iron Fist lock up all Batman rogues in one night? I mean, not in one night. They did a deluxe for Geiger? Nice. What do you think of MCU bringing back old X-Men back once again for yet another final goodbye? I talked about it on last week's stream, but yeah, I think it's stupid. Like, we had the nice goodbye with Deadpool and Wolverine, and now we're having another one. It's like, why are we having another one? What's the point of, like, we just had that nice good goodbye. Alright, here we go. Here's a good comparison. The difference between these two. Pull both up. All right. So yeah, so this is Pranky normally from Ivan Race. That's how he looks. And then this was today. I was like, oh my goodness. That is... just, you see... it's almost like they should take like $1 off when there's a fill-in artist for comics. They really should. Because, like, you know, this isn't the worst thing ever, but my goodness. Look at the difference. Like, come on. Anyways. Yeah, those eyes are insane. The High Street was still good this week, but I felt like this was probably the weakest issue we've got. But that was because there was no Ivan Race, and also it was a character that had already been introduced in a separate one-shot. And then we got we're getting what's it called? We're getting silent issues for G.I. Joe characters. So, you know, the silent interlude, one of the most popular comics and most important comics of all time. The Snake Eyes, where there was no dialogue at all. It was all just art. And now they're going to be doing the silent, they're calling it the silent missions for G.I. Joe Real American Hero. And the first one we got was from Beachhead, for Beachhead, and Phil Hester wrote and drew it, which was really cool. So I liked it a lot. Phil Hester is like, I know him from Green Arrow, and he's done a lot of stuff, but Green Arrow is primarily where I know him from. So it's cool seeing him take the reins on a G.I. Joe book. I'm not sure what the other creative teams are, but I love Beachhead. Beachhead's always been one of my coolest G.I. Joe characters. He always looks sick with the mask he wears. But in this, he essentially is like just in some random, I don't know, Eastern European country, it looks like. And he's fighting some Cobra troopers, and he saves a family, like this mother and son. And he gets mixed up with them. He gets hurt. They help him. And then Cobra ends up going after that family in return. So Beachhead's got to help them. And he ends up home aloneing some Cobra guys until G.I. Joe shows up to exfil them. It's really good. I liked it a lot. Thoughts, predictions on Brand New Day? Isn't the rumor that there's going to be like a female Spider-Man villain? I don't know. I have no predictions on that. I mean, I know some people are like upset because they're choosing Brand New Day as a name. Like, oh, the comic sucks. It's like, they're not going to be following the comic at all. They're just doing it just because it's a name from the comic and it represents what Spider-Man's going through. So I feel like it makes sense. Have you read any Moon Knight comics? Yeah, I've read all of Jeff Lemire's run. I read all of Bendis's run, and I've read a few back issues here and there, and I've read some of what's it called? The guy that, why can't I think of it? Why I can't, McKay. I read some of McKay's run. I think that's the guy that I'm thinking of. Yeah, Jed McKay. Yeah, I've read a little bit of Jed McKay's run. So yeah, I've read some Iron Fist. Moon Knight. Not a ton, but I've read some. You read the Bendis run? The Bendis run was not even close to as good as the Lemire run, but I honestly, in all things considered, I didn't think it was that bad. It was definitely a more lighthearted take, but I didn't think it was that bad, to be honest. They said a female and a dude 30 to 50 years old. So, yeah, I want to look at, let's see, G.I. Joe Silent Missions. Who else is doing it? Who else is getting one? Because this Beachhead one was good. Okay, Duke's getting one. Roadblock's getting one. Spirit's getting one. Jinx is getting one. So it looks like that's the only other people. Who's on the creative team? Wes Craig. Oh, snap. Wes Craig's going to be on it. That's going to be sick. He's doing Duke. Hell yeah. Wes Craig is he's the guy that did the Absolute one-shot for DC, and he did what's it called with Rick Remender? Why can I not think of the name of it? Deadly Class. He did Deadly Class with Rick Remender, which I loved. I love Deadly Class. What Bendis runs have read that are good? Yeah, Daredevil. Daredevil is my favorite thing that I've read of his. Ultimate Spider-Man was fine. I've only read I have the first omnibus, and it was fine. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's amazing or anything either, though. So you see, it's one of the few good Marvel runs right now. So John Wick 5, I actually just rewatched every single John Wick movie. I figured I just rewatched them all in one day. They're so freaking good, dude. And 3, John Wick 3 is always, to me, the weakest, but they're still always really good. But the thing that, man, the thing that holds John Wick 3 back is, what's her name? The Adjudicator. That's the thing. Like, the rest of John Wick 3, I think, is amazing. But the Adjudicator is such a nothing character. Like, nothing happens to her. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't have a presence. She's such a nothingness where it's like they could have done something with the Adjudicator. I feel like John Wick 3 could have maybe even been the best one. Like, the rest of it is so good. And then the Adjudicator is just like Such a bleh character. But anyway, John Wick 5 getting announced. I was surprised because I thought Keanu Reeves would be done because of he is old now and he talked about his knees and everything. And I was surprised, but it makes sense because every John Wick movie has made more than the last. And I think all 4 of them are great. And I think 4 had a great ending. I'd be fine if they stopped there. But if Keanu Reeves and Chad Stahelski think they have a good story to tell, I am by all means welcome them back. Come on back. I'm fine with it. So we'll see how it goes. I'm assuming Lionsgate threw the bag at those two is what happened. I'm assuming Lionsgate said, hey, we know you guys are done. You wrote this beautiful final story and made this great movie, but here's a ton of money. Please come back. Ballerina. The trailers look interesting. I obviously think I'm optimistic about it, but just like the creators behind it, like the director and writers, are where I'm like, I want it to be good. I'm going to go see it. I'm optimistically excited about it, but part of me tells me it's going to be dog shit. But I want it to be good. I really want it. And Armis looks sick. But also, her fighting John Wick, it's like, they better not nerf John Wick for this movie. Because John Wick should, like, absolutely destroy her. I'm sorry. Like, that... They bet everything we've seen him do in the movies. If he like has a stalemate with Ana de Armas in this is gonna be so stupid. So yeah. Also, something that it was already announced a while ago, but they gave more details on it is we're getting that anime of John Wick's impossible tasks that he did. I think that's cool, but I always thought, like in my head, I was like, man, I wish they do a comic with it and get Ron Garney on it, because Ron Garney did the art for the Berserker comic that Keanu Reeves wrote with Matt Kent. I was like, oh man, he's got that connection. Seeing Ron Garney draw John Wick and his impossible task will be great, and I'm also more of a comic fan than anime, so I think that'd be cool, because anime, a lot of times, the art style alone can just turn me off to where like I don't care. I'll watch this because I'm a huge John Wick fan, but I'm a little nervous because the art style could just be trash. So, yeah. Let's see. But, and Donnie Yen directing Kane sounds cool. It'll be interesting because they're going to do it more in the style of Donnie Yen's other movies that he's done. So that, I'm a little like, I don't know, because we saw how well it worked with the Chad Stahelski John Wick style. So it's like, why are you changing from that? Like, Donnie Yen's a legend, but he's been in a lot of not so good movies. So, John Wick 4 is the best movie he's been in my opinion. But, yeah, and also I hope in that movie they make Kane a bit more human, because that is, like, I love Kane in John Wick 4, but that is a bit of a problem I have, is he, like, takes 0 hits and is, like, perfect in John Wick 4. He, other than the end where he, like, gets zipped a couple times, like, nothing happens to him the entire movie. To where, like, everyone, even John, who's the best, like, gets the shit kicked out of him in every movie. But Kane is, like, basically perfect. And it's like, I love Kane in that movie, but that's one thing where it's like, I hope in his own movie he gets beat up a little bit. I want him to see him get beat up. I have no interest in just seeing Donnie Yen be perfect and, like, not get touched throughout the entire movie. Because it worked in John Wick because he's not the main character. But in his own movie, I hope he actually is a bit more human. Also, is that John Wick game still a thing or no? I'm not sure. They didn't offer an update as far as I know. Due to Stahelski did some reshoots. Ooh. Man, I want more Ana de Armas from Bond, so this is hopefully going to cover my fix for that. Dude, that might be the most attractive I've ever seen someone in a movie, is Ana de Armas in Bond. Oh my goodness, when she shows up in Bond, I don't know if anyone's ever been hotter on the big screen ever. At this point, Rick is pretty damn old. Nerfing him could make some sense. No, because it's a prequel. This takes place during John Wick 3. So, yeah, like Danny just said. So, that's the thing. Like, he shouldn't be nerfed. Also, something that I noticed rewatching them all back, because before John Wick 4 came out, I rewatched all the first 3 movies, but in the span of a week. This last time, I did it all in one day. On a Saturday, I just watched all 4 movies back to back to back to back. Something that I noticed is, like, Keanu got a little out of shape for 3. He's got a bit of like a gullet, like a turkey freaking loose skin gullet. And then in 4, he doesn't. He's like much leaner. I was like, oh, he's a little bit out of, I mean, it didn't affect anything in the movie. He was still, kicking ass, doing everything and like looked great. But I noticed that. I was like, oh, he looks a little like older and like more out of shape in 3. And then in 4, like he's in great condition, like he's leaner. I was like, oh, I wonder what happened. I wonder why he didn't come in quite as good shape. Margot Robbie and Wolf of Wall Street exists. Hey, I'm not arguing that she doesn't look amazing in that movie, but for me, Anna de Armas and Bond, dude, that dress, her kicking ass, everything. Dude, I'd love for Mr. Nobody to get a spinoff. I'd love something that they could do with John Wick that would be cool with this universe is they could really go back in time and go throughout history. Like, we don't have to have everything take place in the modern day. We could do like something during World War II era. You could do something like an Old West era, like see like how the high table and everything operated during that. Like you could, because you know, this world has this whole like these roots, like they're always taught, like everything's in Latin, like you've got like this old world stuff. It's like, I think the high table and everything's been around forever. So it's like you could do period pieces for this. It could be really cool instead of just everything trying to replicate John Wick and be in the modern day and all that, you know? So I think that could be really cool. I think that could be awesome. I'd love if they do that. But also, they need to figure it out. I love Chad Stahelski, and he is the best guy for this. Freaking give him some time to make Highlander with Henry Cavill, though. I'm so stoked for that movie. I love the original Highlander, and freaking Henry Cavill and Chad Stahelski teaming up for a Highlander reboot sounds awesome. But if he keeps having to do John Wick stuff, he doesn't have time for it. Come on. Can't take another movie. That check must have been huge. That's what I'm saying. The check is probably ginormous. Now, I will say the whole time, though, both Keanu and Chad said that they would, if they had a story idea, they would come back for it. Because the whole time, they, like, after John Wick 4 came out, each of them were like, especially Chad Stahelski said, he said every time a new John Wick come out, like after the first one, the second one, third, they would be like, all right, that's it, we're done with John Wick. And then like months down the line, they would meet up and they'd be like, you know, I actually have an idea for some really cool John Wick stuff. And so then they would collab. They talked about specifically that would happen a lot because like the Japan release would be like a year after the US release. So when they would go on to promote all the Japan's, like the release of John Wick for Japan, they would then be like, hey, we should do this stuff for John Wick. Even though a year ago we talked about how we were completely done. Yeah. I feel like for 5, they got to do the actual high table. Like, I agree. I think they're very interesting as a faceless organization. But, man, we're so far in at this point. I feel like you can't be dealing with anyone but the high table, right? I don't know. Yeah, the Ghost of Tsushima movie isn't happening. But, rip. The Caveman edition coming out. Hey, John Wick Caveman be lit. It'd be sick. Freaking dude, A Working Man sucked, by the way. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, the Jason Statham movie. It was based off a book from Chuck Dixon, and Sylvester Stallone co-wrote the screenplay for this with I think with Ayer. I think David Ayer co-wrote it with Sylvester Stallone. But I saw that on the credits. I was like, Sylvester Stallone? Why is he co-writing this? I saw a bunch of people on Twitter saying they want John to be dead and fighting demons, trying to like get out of hell or something. I was like, oh, that would be interesting. I doubt they're gonna do that, but that'd be interesting. How do you rank them? Me personally, it's 4, 1, 2, 3. I would rank them actually the exact same. I would say 4 is my favorite. The 1 is so good. Well, like they're all so good. The only one I can like definitively say is I'd say 3 is the weakest. Like I said, I think that's because of the Adjudicator. Because I think the villains in all of them are great other than the Adjudicator. Because in 4, dude, he does such a good job just being a French asshole in that movie, Bill Skarsgård. He's great. And he's got a great presence in that scene where he freaking stabs the knife into Mr. Nobody and tells him like there's 2 different types of people. And then he's going, oh, and it's like, oh, like so good. And then in 1, freaking everything that goes on the whole time with him, with the villain wanting to save his son, but also recognizing everything that's going on with his son being an asshole, and also wanting to save himself, and like all the conflicting emotions and everything that guy goes through, the roller coaster of emotions the villain John Wick goes through is great. And then in 2, freaking the Italian asshole is so good. That guy's great. But 3 is the one where it's like, we got the Adjudicator. Like, 0 is really good. I love 0 in 3. But the adjudicator is the one that brings that movie down for me. Like that Wolverine comic, yeah. But yeah, I would say 4 is my favorite, then 1, then 2, then 3. I'd agree with that ranking. But it can shuffle up at any time. Other than I would say 3 is probably always last for me. But 3 has some of my favorite moments of any of them. The moment when he's talking to Ian McShane after having come from the one above, and he's talking to him. Oh, and they have that whole conversation about what are they gonna do, and he makes John realize that he essentially just sold his soul and everything he was fighting for. And oh man, that scene's great. And they decide they're gonna go to war. Also, that whole that scene in the beginning when he reconstructs a revolver just to fire one bullet is so good. He's just sitting there. He's making a Frankenstein revolver, and he gets one bullet, shoots one guy, and then goes. Love that. All the John Wick movies are so good. I could watch all 4 of them again, like right now. They're so good. Anyways, I was supposed to be checking on creative teams for these silent issues. Andrew Kroenke's gonna be doing the Roadblock one? Hell yeah. I can't wait. Okay, that's my most anticipated now. I love Roadblock, and Andrew Kroenke is going to be doing it. I'm probably not pronouncing his last name right. But he's the guy that did Bloodrick. If you saw my best comics of the year video, I talked about Bloodrick. He's the guy who wrote and drew Bloodrick. And he's going to be doing this G.I. Joe. Oh, man, he's going to be doing this G.I. Joe's one-shot. Let's go. I'm excited for that. Leonardo Romero. I don't know who that is. That guy's going to be doing, he'll be doing the Spirit one. What is Leonardo? Oh, looks like he's just like done a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff before. And then who's doing Jinx? Dan Waters is helping along with Danny. I don't know who this lady Danny is, but she's going to be doing the Jinx one. So, but Wes Craig and Andrew Kroenke on 2 of them. That's got me excited. Need them to do a 4K collection, John? They've only done a standard. No, that is wrong, Danny. They have done a 4K collection. I can pull it up. They've done a 4K collection. I also own one of the 4K collections. Hold up. So this was before the 4th one came out. They did a collection now with the 4th one, but this is the one with the first 3. So remember in John Wick 3 when he goes to the library and he fights the basketball player? This is the book he kills him with. Remember when he freaking puts his neck on it, goes kills him? This is that book. So, and remember he opens it because he grabs that book. Wait, no, he doesn't kill I don't remember if he kills him with that book. No, he grabs the book out of the library and has his stuff in there. It has the pictures of his wife. Yeah, but it has... So this is the first 3 movies, all on 4K Steelbook. But, yeah, I don't know if you can see, but it says 4K right there. They're all in 4K. I'll send you the link to the one with all 4, though. And the 4th one I just got on 4K Steelbook because I had bought the collection with the first 3 before the 4th one came out. But yeah, they did one like I think it was early this year or last year where they did a new collection with all 4 movies. And I was tempted to get it, but I already have all of them. So I was like, Yeah, John Wick, Titans of the Cult 4K Steelbook. That's it. This is the one with all 4. I'll send you the link. believe this one has all 4, I think. Whatever. I'll look at it later. But yeah, I got this from Best Buy back when Best Buy used to sell Blu-rays right before they stopped. I was like, oh snap, I went and got it. It was so cool. But yeah, all 3 of them there. And it's also got a little bit, because it's like a Baba Yaga book, so it's got a little bit about the Baba Yaga on there. But that was freaking. So yeah, I do have them. At least the first 3 I can confirm. I'm pretty sure they count with a collection with all 4. I could be wrong about that, but I know they have, because I own the collection with all 3. But all 4 are on 4K, so I can confirm that at least. They look amazing. I just watched them all on 4K. And they're so good. Trying to get the Blu-ray for Lord of the Rings. What's up, Landon? Thoughts on the working man getting more money than Snow White? I mean, it makes sense. Why are we doing remakes of these movies? Focus camera. I know there's all the controversy and everything surrounding it, but I'm just saying, regardless of that, come on, camera, focus. Focus, webcam. My webcam needs glasses. Come on. Come on. My goodness, dude. Whatever. I'm just gonna be blurry. But I don't know why we're doing these remakes of these freaking. Like, what's the point? What is the point of doing remakes of these animated movies? Who cares? I know, like the Jungle Book was good, and then it just unleashed hell from there. Why are we doing remakes of these? Who cares? Also, what was with that wig or haircut they gave her? Like, she's a pretty girl, and she looks horrible in that movie. What was with the, like, Lord Farquaad hair they gave her? That is, I don't understand that. And especially because I saw, like, promo pics where she dressed up like the original voice, or did her, like, hair and all that, styled herself like the original voice actress for Snow White, and she looked 800 times better than she does in the movie. I don't understand that. What is with this thing? Focus. Come on. Why can this thing just lost all ability to focus in the middle of my stream? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now we're frozen. Oh, no. Maybe. It's something with my streaming software. Let me try unplugging it. Because on my other thing, it looks good. Well, this is... Let's try something else. Let's try adding. Let's see. Oh, well, I add the source and it's still just frozen. I don't know why, because it's something with OBS. Because it's showing as good on my webcam software. Like, it's working. But for some reason, OBS just has me as stuck in time. I don't know why. Well, this is nice. What if I... Let's see. You know what I could do? It's probably going to be a little bit of lag, but... If I just stream... Oh, see, this is my webcam software, and it shows... that my webcam's working. But for some reason on OBS, it's not working. So, that's good. Anyways, we're coming to the end of the stream anyways, so I don't know what's going on with OBS, though. That's annoying. I don't think there's much else to really talk about, though. There's... A Working Man sucked. I would not recommend going to see it. I did not see Snow White because I just don't care. My AMC is all full up right now. I got tickets for what's it called? Just went on sale. The Accountant 2. But my AMC's all filled up, so I can't get tickets for it yet. Unless I want to pay money, which I don't want to pay money. Let's see. What do I got? I'm going to see Warfare, The Amateur, and Sinners. That's what I got tickets for right now. Those are my 3 upcoming movies. So, I hope Warfare's good. Warfare looks really good. You know, watch Revenge of the Sith re-release in theaters? Definitely. I'm probably going to see it twice because I'm going to see it once normally, and they're also re-releasing it 4D. And we got a 4D theater right here in Seattle, so I'm going to go to the 4D theater and see it. That I'm excited for. Freaking, it's going to be hot in there when it's the lava scene, I'm guessing. I'm so excited for Mission Impossible. I can't wait. But what do we got coming out soon? Let's see. See a movie coming soon. I'm not going to see Minecraft. Don't care. Let's see. Drop could be good, maybe. That's that horror movie that's based on, like, airdropping pictures and stuff. Could be fun. I want to see The Accountant, too. The First Accountant was the first movie I ever went and saw in theaters by myself. I skipped class to go see that when I was going to college, and I was like, you know, I don't really like this whole college thing, but I like watching movies, so I went and watched The Accountant. Let's see. Fight or Flight looks like budget Bullet Train. Dude, Dead Reckoning, all those movies are great. That's another collection I have on 4K, but I can't wait. But that's not in like a cool 4K collection like John Wick that I just got like on this. But I had the Fallout before I had that collection. I had Fallout on Steelbook, and I like the Dead Reckoning Steelbook. That looks cool. I like that. I love the Dead Reckoning Steelbook. I can't wait though. That looks sick. What do you think about the Switch 2 reveal? I was thinking about getting like a Switch 2, and then I saw the reveal that it was like $500. I was like, oh, never mind. Maybe if the first Switch goes on sale, maybe I'll get a Switch. When Switch 2 goes out, maybe the first one will go on sale. Yeah, Fight or Flight looks interesting. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer for that. That's the Josh Hartnett bullet train except it's in the sky. So it looked fun, but like on a budget. What else is coming out? Oh, Sneaks looks so stupid. Sneaks is that animated sneaker movie. I think Anthony Mackie's voicing one of the sneakers, I believe. I saw the trailer for that. It looked terrible. Oh, newer copies, yeah. Yeah, mine still has the part 1 right there. Part 1. Oh, Until Dawn. That makes me upset. Until Dawn has such a good story, and then they completely changed everything for the movie, which is so stupid. Got Thunderbolts coming out, which could be good. Who knows? The Final Reckoning. I can't wait. Yeah. Thoughts on what John Boyega said? John Boyega must have his head in the sand because fans were the only ones that were defending him and saying he should have been the main character the whole time. Him being like, these racist ass Star Wars fans can't handle a black character having some prominence in Star Wars. Like, what are you talking about? Literally everyone that disliked these movies was like, hey, John Boyega should have been the main character, not Daisy Ridley. Why'd they put him off to the side? He should have been force sensitive, like all these things. And he was just like, it's like he was talking to a ghost, like he was making up a monster. It was like, no one feels this way. What are you talking about? Are you talking about like the 5 people that made a reaction video when the first trailer dropped saying, oh man, there's a black stormtrooper? Because that was it. After that, everyone was just like, hey, John Boyega's character is much more interesting. Finn's much more interesting. He should be bigger. Electric State. I'm never going to watch Electric State. Electric State looks so bad. But man, that John Boyega saying that, I was like, what are you talking about, dude? What's going on? But all right, we've been going for about an hour. This one, there wasn't as much to talk about this week. Sorry that we just got that little bit of Superman, and the comics were kind of weak this week. But thank you guys for showing up. Maybe next week we'll start doing some games. We'll see. He's more sensitive, yeah. But yeah, maybe next week if I can get Web of Shadows installed or something, maybe we'll do that. Could be fun. Anyways, thank you guys for showing up to stream. It was fun. I will see you all later. Everyone, have a good rest of your night. Goodbye.